Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Stoic quotes on self-control, life, and happiness. Anger, if not restrained, is often more harmful than the injury that provokes it. No man was ever wise by chance. He who is brave is free. The sense of injury and the injury itself will disappear. The willing are led by fate, the reluctant are dragged. What we do now echoes in eternity. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. No man can escape his destiny. The next question is how he may best live the time that he has to live. The future is uncertain, so live immediately. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them. Our attitude toward events, not the events themselves, is what we can control. Nothing is by its own nature calamitous. Even death is terrible only if we fear it. If evil is spoken of you and it is true, correct yourself. If it is a lie, laugh at it. Attach yourself to what is spiritually superior, regardless of what others think or do. No matter what is happening around you, hold to your true aspirations. Limit yourself to the present. No man is free who is not a master of himself. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. If you live in harmony with nature, you will never be poor. If you live according to what others think, you will never be rich. Learn to be indifferent to what makes no difference. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. Be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. Nature has given man 1 tongue, but 2 ears, so that we may hear from others twice as much as we speak. People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but wasteful of time, the one thing in which it is right to be stingy. Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. If you really want to escape the things that harass you, you do not need to be in a different place, but to become a different person. Until we begin to let go, we fail to realize how unnecessary many things are. We have been using them not because we needed them, but because we had them. If a man does not know to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. We love ourselves more than anyone else, but we care more about their opinions than our own. Here is a rule to remember in the future. When something tempts you to feel bitter, do not say, "This is misfortune," but rather, "To bear this worthily is good fortune." Man conquers the world by conquering himself. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. What you think about determines the quality of your mind. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Stoic quotes on how to face life and adversity. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. It is not the man who has too little that is poor, but the man who craves more. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Difficulty reveals the character of a man. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. Death smiles at us all. All we can do is smile back. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Nothing endures but change. The worth of a man is measured by the worth of what he values. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. While we wait for life, life passes. The one who perfects their life each day will never be short of time. It is time you realize that within you is something stronger and more miraculous than anything that can affect you or make you act like a puppet. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Be silent for the most part, or if you speak, say only what is necessary in a few words. All cruelty springs from weakness. The rough road leads to the heights of greatness. Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life. Whatever can happen at any time can happen today. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Because a thing seems difficult for you, do not think it impossible for anyone to accomplish. Freedom is secured not by the fulfilling of men's desires, but by the removal of desire. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Small-minded people blame others, average people blame themselves. The wise see all blame as foolishness. Stoic quotes on inner peace, life, and self-improvement. Respect the past and be open to the future. The life we receive is not short, but we make it so by wasting it. We are not ill-provided, but we use what we have wastefully. Stay calm and serene, regardless of what life throws at you. What stands in the way becomes the way. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence inspires you to be your best. Humans exist for each other, therefore, either teach them or learn to bear with them. Something can ruin your life only if it ruins your character. Otherwise, it cannot harm you inside or out. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Mastery of reading and writing requires a teacher, but living well requires much more. Progress is not achieved by luck or accident, but by working on yourself daily. At banquets, remember that you entertain two guests, the body and the soul. Whatever you give to the body, you will soon eject, but whatever you give to the soul, you will keep forever. No person can have everything they want, but they have the power not to want what they don't have, and to cheerfully use what they do have. If what you have seems insufficient to you, then though you possess the world, you will still feel miserable. The strongest is he who has power over himself. Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. Life, like a story, is not about how long it is, but how good it is. Life, if well lived, is long enough. The best answer to anger is silence. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. The one who injures you is either stronger or weaker than you. If weaker, forgive him. If stronger, forgive yourself. Inwardly, everything should be different, but outwardly, we should conform with the crowd. Anyone who can make you angry becomes your master. The first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, and to love. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. To wish to be well is a part of becoming well. Receive without conceit, release without struggle. No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me you desire a fig, I would answer that it must take time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he does not have. Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. Life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. Receive without conceit, release without struggle. No great thing is created suddenly, just like a fig. Let it blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them. Our attitude toward events, not the events themselves, is what we can control. Nothing is by its own nature calamitous. Even death is only dreadful if we fear it. The greatest blessings are within us and within our reach. Life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Your days are numbered. Use them to throw open the windows of your soul to the sun. If you do not, the sun will soon set, and you with it. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Sometimes, even to live is an act of courage. It is not that we have little time, but that we waste a great deal of it. Whatever happens at all happens as it should. You will find this true if you watch closely. Our life is what our thoughts make it. The consequences of anger are far more painful than its causes. He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive. We live only in the present, all else is either past or unknown.